No. Put that back on. Yeah, it's done. So guys, we are live on YouTube, okay? So I'm here with Lucas and Rita. Hello, YouTube. So guys, I will introduce myself and talk a little about the TNT. And so my name is Belle. Actually, my name is Alberlene, but my friends call me Belle. I'm from Fortaleza, but nowadays I live in Salvador. And I'm here in TNT since the last year. And today I'm here like a host, but I'm not a teacher. It's not a class. I'm a student, and we are here to have a good conversation, to learn together, okay? And today we are talking about frustration, yeah. And I put the questions on the chat. And let's continue with you, Lucas. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I am Lucas. I am 24 years old. I live in São Paulo. I am a pharmacist. I am married, and I think it is.
Okay, Lucas, thank you. Rita, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, my name is Rita. I live in Minas Gerais. I'm married. I don't have any child. I have just one dog. I work with TI. I start to work in this area about 2 months. I'm very new in this. I am in talk about 4 months, more or less. I need to improve my English. I think it's this.
Okay, thank you, Rita. And about you, Katiana, how long time? I'm pretty happy to see you here. Thanks for
Hello,
coming.
hello,
Okay,
good morning.
fine.
It's a long time I don't say in our immersion. It's because this last quarter it's totally crazy in my week, in
Yeah,
my job. Yeah, I work for long hours a day
yeah,
and
uh,
it's
uh,
crazy.
yeah. But today maybe will be my last immersion here. But I need to say for you that year was very important. No, it's just that year, yeah, because I will
Okay,
return the
okay.
next Friday. No, don't
Okay.
worry. But was very important for me. Yeah, all meetings we participated. Yeah, that year. I hope see you the next year too.
I understand your word because it's a big challenge, no? For me it's similar.
Yeah. So, Katiana, please introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. My name is Catiana. I'm 4 years old. I live in Vitória, Espírito Santo. I love running. Today, I finished my running in 5 minutes ago. I'm a very suada. Don't remember suada. I love running. I love swimming. I think I stay in talking for 2 years. I think I complete 2 years, and in this last 6 months, I started one like Bell with a immersion. I have one immersion for a week. It's a big challenge for me because I need speaking English because of my job. I work in the oil and gas sector, oil gas, and the English is so important in my job now because I have meetings in English every week. And I'm married and I have a daughter. And I think it's these little things about me.
Okay, Katiana, thank you. And so I told before, but I will say again. Today we are talking about frustration, and I have one video, but it's not so short. And yeah, we are live now, and we will start with the questions, just the questions, okay? I think it's an important topic, and mainly for me because that year maybe I get some frustration, and Yeah, I want to listen you guys about that. And about the first question, Lucas, can you explain what is frustration for you? And have you ever felt frustration before?
Yes, I think it's very normal to also have felt frustrated. I I think frustration for me is when you do some goals and I don't know when you try to do a list to things to do in the week and you finish the week and you do nothing. So I think it is when you have some goals and you don't reach the goals.
Perfect. Yeah, for me it's the same thing. And about you in your personal or professional life, have you ever felt frustration?
And yes, I have some moments, but I it's more in the past, and nowadays it's more difficult to happen this.
Okay, it's a good one. So thank you, Lucas. And you, Katriana, please help for us.
I think about frustrate. In the past, I think my bigger frustrated, if it's correct word, it's about English because I stayed in the school for I think many 10 years and don't speak English. I pay different courses and don't and I'm very frustrated in that time because I'm not speak but it's part of my past because now I focus on conversation, on talking, and I with 6 months I see a different things with my English, and my English I think it's more it's more easy for me now. The English is more easy for speaking, for understand. Sometimes I have difficult for with grammar, but I think it's part of our life because we are not a native uh, 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 person who speak English every day. But I think now I'm not frustrated with my English. And but in the past, yes, I'm very frustrated because I pay different courses, don't speak very well, and it's part of my past.
Perfect, Katriana. Yeah, for me it's the same thing. For a long time, I was very frustrated about to study English, and nowadays I start to looking for like a journey. Yeah, it's a long process. So nowadays it's not so like frustration. So, and you, Rita, what's frustration for you? And have you ever felt frustration?
I think this frustration is when you expect more from something that what it really is. And I think this is normal for our humans. We are expect more and more. I think you need to learn to expect the really the really the really thing. I'm not a frustration, but when I start to work a new career, a new area, for me is more difficult because I know I changed my career was I a coordination, so I was the top, and now I'm start to again. And this for me sometimes is frustration because I know I can do, and I need to wait to get this position again. So, and this sometimes for me feel me frustrated. but I need to learn to wait for the time, for the process. I think it's this.
Yeah, it's a good point when you talk about to expected a lot of things, or like Lucas said, it's when you put goals and you don't achieve that goals, for example. And it's a good topic to talk today because normally we have resolutions of the year, yeah, like put in the papers or in your mind a new goals to achieve. And yeah, for me it's like that. Just recognize what it's really important and what it's possible to do, yeah, what it's real. Because when you feel some frustration, that can be motivated you, yeah. So I talk that because I feel some frustration sometimes, and I just need to be more real, yeah, and put and just expect it to do what's possible to do. I think it's important. And so, Lucas, for you, what makes you feel frustrated? Do you? It's just about goals, or there are other points that you felt frustrated?
I think the most important for me and the main that make me feel frustrated is about the English. Uh, when I have a difficult to talk English or to use words or to learn grammar, I think it's very hard. But I try to make the frustration and keep in motivation, to change in motivation to keep in study. And I have a big problem to consistency. So it's very hard to me to keep in studying every day. So this make me feel frustrated when I can't study every day or when I don't have a consistency with my studies.
Perfect. Yeah. So normally for me, it's when I don't achieve my goals. Like I have one test, like a proficiency test exam in English at my work, and I study a lot in the last year, and I didn't get my operational level. Yeah, was was not so good. So I was very frustrated, and yeah, it's hard. What was really hard to pass for that moment, yeah, recognize what I need to improve, and it's a very hard for me. And you, Rita, what do you say about that? What makes you felt frustrated?
Like I told you before, in this time is my work. I needed to have a patience. I needed to wait for the process. I need to learn more for get improved. But sometimes me get frustrated because I know I can do, but I need to wait to start. I'm not starting the top. I'm starting on the bottom, and sometimes get me a little frustrated.
Yeah, do you think it's we felt some frustration because of pressure of the society, like because we don't have time to do a lot of things. Yeah, it's like the society put pressures in you to get a lot of things at the same time. Do you think it's because of
No,
that or not? It's
no, it's
about
because
yourself.
myself, because like I told you, in my last work, I has a position of coordination, so I get the top in my not my old area, and now I start, and this for me get a little frustrated because I know I can do, you know, I know my, let's say, my, I don't know what to say in
Potential?
English. Yes, my potential. But I need
Okay.
to wait to have a patience
Yeah. Okay.
before I get the top again.
Okay, Rita. So thank you. And you, Katiana, what do you say about that? What makes you felt frustrated? Just in English study, or there are a lot of other things, like in the room, or when you need to do I don't know, 5 kilometers or something like that.
Sometimes I'm frustrated because I don't finish everything I planning because the time is sometimes it's so short for do different things because I love study is part of my life and uh, but the time is short because I have family, I have a daughter, I have a job, and sometimes the time is running a lot. For example, in this year, I pay for two different courses with a for programming because I'm an engineer and now I need programming in my job, Power BI and Python. But I don't complete my course because my job it's hard in this last quarter and I'm frustrated sometimes. But I understand it's part of the process because uh, I if I stood for 30 minutes every day, it's for me it's okay because I know a different thing and I learning a different thing every day. But sometimes it's difficult for me because I don't have it time for study for a long time like I planning and
Yeah,
it's frustrating sometimes.
yeah, it's like Lucas. Lucas are felt some frustration when are not possible to study. For me, I think it's the same sometimes. Yeah. And so let's continue. Lucas, can you read and answer that question number 3?
Yes. And how do you how do you usually react when you are frustrated? Um, I think it's very hard to react the frustration. But as I said, I try to choose this to like a motivation. So I think when I feel frustrated, it's a good it's a good point to improve myself. So I I try to use the frustration like a good thing.
Yeah, I was think about that. Do you think it's important? Felt some frustration in
Yes,
the life?
yes, it depends how you use this. So if you use to the good thing, it's good.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't like feel frustration, of course, but when I think about that, that's it's necessary. Yeah, because we need to be strong. It's normal. Don't win in our things or achieve your goals in your life. So yeah, it's important because we can improve ourselves all the time. Yeah, and sometimes we put a lot of goals in your mind, but it's not for the moment. It's not so easy to get a lot of things. Like to study English, it's not so easy. It's not just study for 1 or 2 years. It's like we need to learn the process. We need to enjoy the journey. Yeah, it's hard, but it's the life. Yeah. So, and Katiana, how do you usually react it when you are frustrated?
Now I think with the maturity, I see different aspects, uh, different forms with when they don't finish one thing. Sometimes with planning, I planning and don't I planning different things at the same time. And when I don't finish one thing now, I see the highs, the roof of the problem. Sometimes it's because I don't planning very well about, and in my case, the big problem it's with time because I don't have time for do uh, everything I wish and planning in my life. But with English, for example, and sometimes in the past I speak, no, I don't have time, but I put the English in my schedule. Every day I need take 1 hour with English every day, and I put in my schedule 7 a.m. It's time of English, and it's like it's the same. The same with the other things, with study Power BI and other things. For me, resolve my problems, and in the past I understand these things, and with comigo isso funcionou.
Okay. Yeah, I try to do the same thing. Yeah, if I put the English or my goals every single day, I take notes about that thing, and it's easy to do the thing without planning. Yeah, so I think the planning before it's really important, and of course to do the all your tasks. Yeah. So, and Rita, for you, how do you usually react it when you're frustrated?
In the first time, I wanted to be quiet in my way, think about what happened, process the situation. And about this, when I get my calm, my clar, let's say clareza with the what they happen, I want to talk about the some people or about if I have my frustration if are with the people, talk with the people. But in the first moment, I be quiet in my way, think about what happened.
Yes, it's really important. Normally, I'm really sad too when that's happened. But Rita, for you, what do you think? Do you think when you give your best for to do something or achieve some goals, that can be avoid the frustration or not? Or maybe that's just depend of your result.
I think it depends on the results. Uh,
Just depend of the result.
I don't know what is. Sometimes we got told we wait more when the thing is, and we make the situation in our mind, and the situation happen another way. Sometimes better way, but sometimes not so better way. But
Yeah,
I think we frustration because before you expect the situation.
yeah, of course. Yeah, I request that because I sometimes we can be frustrated about relationships, for example. Yeah. So there are some things don't depend of us. Maybe when you give your best for or to do your push yourself yeah, give your best. Maybe there are some things don't depend of you. So sometimes the result it's not about your perform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Uh, yeah. And you look, do you think when you give your best, you can avoid the frustration or not?
Mm, I think it's very hard. I I think not. I don't know. It's very hard.
Yeah, no, maybe it just depends of the result. It's because
Yes,
sometimes we put the in our mind some situation, but that situation does not happen. So, and because of that, we can feel frustration. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
some moments we are the villains of our life because we imagine a lot of things, and is the in the real thing it's very different. So I think it's very complicated.
yeah, yeah. I totally agree with you. And you, Katiana, I have one question for you because you really like to plan in your day and put the goals in the paper. Do you think you are more, I think it's susceptible to be frustrated because of that, because you planning or expected active some goals? Do you think you are more, yeah, able to feel frustration or not?
Yeah, it's a difficult question, but if I'm a person, I have TDA, and if I don't plan in the things, I forget all the things in my day. And if I don't planning and don't listen the things, in the end of the day, I feeling very bad because I don't finish the things. For me, I think when I planning my routine, I understand about the process, what the thing is more important in my day, and I focus in these things. And if it's not possible, okay, I'm frustrated, but I understand the things, because if I don't listen, I don't remember anything and don't finish anything. And for me, it's more easier. And the frustrated, it's part of the our life. But I think when you understand the better strategy for lidar com frustração and planning your day, your routine, I think it's more easy sometimes. But it's my opinion.
No, yeah, of course. I agree with you because I really like to planning my day. And so, and about that question, for me, it's more or less like Rita said, I'm really sad or I will be quiet when I'm frustrated about something. But yeah, sometimes I cry and plus think a lot of about that situation. Yeah, I, yeah. So, but don't have a lot of time for that because after I try to choose two ways to lead with the same situation. It's like, oh, I will give up or I will continue. Yeah. So, and normally I'm try continuing and active my goals. Yeah. For example, in English, it's a process. Yeah. So I think it's really important. How can you lead with that kind of situation? So the question number 4, yeah, I think we'll talk about that. But Rita, do you have some example? Is there something specific that happened recently with you, or that feel you frustrated?
Yes, like in my work today, I'm a software test, and I'm doing the manually test, but I can do automatization test, and I'm not doing this in my work because they don't want, they don't have this process in the company, and this make me feel a frustration.
Okay, so yeah, it's really hard. And maybe for me, the last one was my English test. Yeah, because I don't pass in the first step and I was very, very frustrated. But yeah, I hope overcome that. And you, Lucas, what do you say about that? Do you have some example about that?
Recently, no, but in the past, I have an opportunity in my job, to talk with a foreign patient, and at that moment, I stayed frozen, and I didn't speak with the patient because in that moment, I don't feel prepared enough to talk in English with the patient. And after that moment, I think, oh my God, I need improve my English because it's
But you work request, we need to talk in English with the patients, or it's
yes,
like you try to do that because you want to, yeah, are able to talk in English.
no, it's because I work in the hospital at the hospital. So every patient that comes in the hospital, we need to talk to do interview about the medicines that the patient take. Because I'm a pharmacist, and was I don't remember, but I think he was a Chinese, and or I speak with in Chinese. I don't know Chinese or English, and I don't feel comfortable to talk in English with him, and I don't speak to the patient. So after that moment, I thought, oh my God, I need to improve my English because if I had other situation, I need to talk, I need to do something.
Perfect, Lucas. So when you talk about that, I remember one situation that's happened the last week with me at work, that I need to talk in English too, but I'm not felt comfortable to talk in English, and I fail. I totally fail. The pilot called me in English was so hard English. It's not a simple English, and I'm not feel comfortable to talk. I didn't understand all the message. I don't know to what do you say for that pilot. And yeah, I maybe I feel you in that situation because yeah, it's hard because we are here, we study every single day, and when we need to talk, we don't get, yeah, it's not possible. And so I was very frustrated in that situation too. So, and you, Tatiana, do you have an example about that?
Yes. Last month I do concurso público for the engineer in the Transpetro, and for one point I don't eu não fiquei colocada for one point probably. I'm eliminating the process and I'm very frustrated. But I understand because I studied for 1 month and it's okay. Yeah, I don't study for how do you say concurso público? I don't remember the name in English, but I think it's probably 15 years I don't study for concurso público, and it's almost complete the points. Quase completei os pontos para ficar na classificação, but for 1 point I don't complete. I'm frustrated, but I understand I need to study more.
Yeah, maybe it's because you have a long time without study, yeah, for that kind of test, and maybe if you study a little more, you get that's charge for you. But I
Yes,
think we need to look the water. It's not water. The cup almost cheio, né? I don't know to say that, but maybe it's depend of the point of view of the life. Yeah, sometimes we push ourselves a lot and don't recognize how can our improve or the time. For example, we work hard in English and it's a process, step by step. It's
yes, yes.
that's take time.
After this, I understand the English is so easier when you compare with the Portuguese because the Portuguese now is totally different when I
Yeah,
studied. I think maybe 30 years ago. It's
yeah,
totally different. The rules, das regras,
yeah,
it's totally different now.
yeah. That's it. So we need to pay attention about that. Yeah, about what it's really important. Put your focus. Yeah, in different kind of situations. So let's continue. I think I will start with that question with Rita because no, Lucas, for you. Yeah. So for example, you brought example about the patients, yeah, in the hospital. And do you talk about that situation for another person, or you just stay with you or and feel frustration and don't talk with another person? Do you think it's important to talk about your failures for the other persons?
Uh, in the past, yes, I kept it with myself, yes, to myself. But nowadays I try to share with my wife because I think it's very important to talk, to share, to have a new vision about my moment and about the situation. And of course, she motivates me to improve my English, to keep studying. I don't know how to say this in English, but ela pega no meu pé para participar das imersões. So I think it's very important to,
She motivated you.
yes, exactly. So I think it's very important to share with someone.
Yeah, I think it's important because sometimes, for example, for me, uh, for the moment, I think, oh, I will give up. Yeah, I will be here. I will don't it put myself in that situation again. I'm not for that, and something like that. Yeah. So I think it's important. And when we talk about that kind of situation, we can show for the other about it's normal to be vulnerable. Yeah. So I don't prefer to talk about that because I don't have a lot of friends, but I think it's really good for me talk about that. Yeah, like that's kind of situation about the test, exam, or about that situation that I told you uh, that happened in the last week, for example. Sometimes I feel a little afraid about the judgment, like, oh, do you study? You study a lot English, and are you not able to talk? What's happened? But that kind of thing never happens. Normally, when I talk with a friend or with my family, uh, that person's motivated me to continuing. Yeah, because yeah, I work hard, so I think in the future we will have results. Yeah. So, and Katiana, and about you, normally do you prefer to talk about your frustration with someone or keep in yourself?
No, I prefer keep it myself and
But
remoer. I don't remember how do you say remoer, but I need to understand about the feeling, about the frustration, how I do different in the other way or in the other days for resolve the same thing. But sometimes I don't, it's not easily speak about the frustration. But I think for everything in our life, we need time for resolve the feelings and after speak about the things. And I think with a frustration, it's similar. You need the maturity for understood the what you need, o que você precisa mudar. And after this, I think it's more easier for speak about the the things.
yeah, of course. Thank you, Tatiana. I totally agree with you. Sometimes I think it's important to talk, but I don't have a lot of friends. I don't. So I prefer keep with myself. And sometimes I talk with my close friends or with my family. But I think it's important Don't just keep it with yourself. Yeah. And you, Rita, what do you say about that? I think you told before, yeah, you try to talk with your friends or with other persons. That's it?
Yes, like I told you, the first month I wait my way quite, but after that I believe is important to talk about it and another people. And I believe too, when you get a big frustration and you cannot handle with this, it's important to talk about a professional. No, I I believe in therapists. I think is very important to some people to help some people to handle with his frustration in his life. I think this is very important too.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
not all the frustration go to the therapist. You don't have sense, but sometimes it's important.
Yeah, it's really interesting because normally the persons just talk about uh, what its goals activity. Yeah, it's like the put all the good situations for the other persons, but don't talk about the our frustration. Yeah,
Yeah, yes, exactly.
but I think it's important to talk, but we need to take care about what kind of persons we will talk about that. It's like because of that I just choose my close friends or my family. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's continue. I think we have questions here, but we answered before. And yeah, we'll talk about it's important, express frustration. So for you, Lucas, it's a specific question for you because you brought a situation like my situation. When you have that kind of situation that you was frustrated, yeah, what do you felt frustration, but do you change something in your day or in your life to don't felt frustration in the future, like, oh, in the next situation like that, I will try to talk, or yeah, I will study English because I want to be able to talk. You
Uh,
change something or not?
yes, I when I am past the situation, I try to wait some minutes because I forgot stuff. I have something very cool that I try to use. I I try to suffer for 5 minutes about the that situation, and after this, I try to forget and just improve and try to don't happen again. You know. So about the situation that I don't speak with the didn't speak with the patient, I suffer for 5 minutes, and after this, I think, oh my God, I need to improve, and I am here trying to
Yeah.
improve my English.
Yeah, I think that's happened with me, but I don't forget so easy. Yeah, was not possible because all the time, oh my gosh, I study a lot and I don't able to talk. But I start to think about the other factors that involve in that situation. Yeah, because uh, when we study English, it's like just at home or using a grammar book, for example, and it's not like in the real situation. So I put the emotional factors in that kind of situation because, for example, the pilots talk in English, yeah, call me in English and talk with me in English, and I froze at the time. It's oh my gosh, there are a lot of people looking for me at the moment, and maybe I will make some mistake. So I, I mean, it's not about my English or my communication in English. Maybe it was about my posture or my emotional, yeah,
Yes, it's
mental.
about the pressure with the
Yeah, maybe it
everything.
was depression.
Yes.
So it's okay. I'm in frustration, but in the next situation, I will try to do in the different way. Yeah. So I think it because of that the frustration. Um, yeah, the frustration helped me to improve myself.
Because it's very interesting because after that moment, every day when I go to work, I like to I don't know how to say, but I try to do a conversation and me and the patient. Like eu tento
You
pensar como
think
seria.
about that?
Yes, yes.
Like,
So I
oh,
think, oh
if
my God, I
that
need to be
situation
prepared.
happen,
Yes.
yeah, okay. Please, Lucas, tell me when that's happened in the real situations.
Okay,
Oh, I'm
I will.
able to talk with another guys in English. I think it's really important. Please tell me, and I will tell you when I get a good moment in English, for example.
Okay.
So, and Rita, and about you, what do you say about that? Do you think it's when you are frustrated, you can move yourself for another way, or what it's possible to change to avoid the frustration?
Of course, for me is a motivation to change something in my life, and this making me change my career. What the frustration my old career. I not lose this time, but in my new old career, I was stabilization, but it's not make me happy more. So I I'd say this make me feel sad and frustration and make me change, start again. I'm not an old person more. No, this is more complication, but I try and I'm happy with this. Like I told, sometimes I feel frustration because I know I can do more, but this make me feel study more for get again my top position.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Sometimes it's a we put goals. It's like we said, yeah. Sometimes we have a kind of parameters in our minds. I don't know to say that, but we put a different actions in our mind. But when we need to express that kind of actions in the real life, it's not so possible because there are a lot of other factors, yeah, that involve your perform. So I'm trying to think about that. And frustration, it's important for the life. It's like uh, feel afraid or fear, yeah, when we need it's a part of the process. We need to feel some frustration sometimes to change something and enhance our perform, yeah. So let's see the next question. I think we have more one because Rita needs leave, yeah, before that's meeting, yeah.
I think I will leave now, Belle. Thank you,
Okay,
guys.
no problem.
Happy New Year. If you safe, don't drink a lot.
Yeah.
Be patient.
Just to avoid the frustration, I will not drink a
Yeah.
lot.
Thanks so
So
much for this year, and we see you the next year.
yeah, in the next year. Thank you for the
Thanks, guys.
conversation. Okay, have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
So Lucas, it's just me and you, but we can answer more one question for finish. Let me see. I don't know if you have a different question, but yeah, let me see. There are some one questions that you want to choose for answer, or
Mm, I maybe the 10 we talk about it, uh, about to use the frustration like a motivator.
yeah, it's
And
important.
yes,
And
I
I
think.
really like to talk with you about that because it's like it's the same. It's the same. How can I say? What was the same situation? Yeah, it's like the my frustration at my work with an English uh, motivated me to study English. Yeah, because okay, I need to it's my responsibility. I'm shy. So we have a situation that I need to talk in English. I need to talk in English. So when that kind of situations happen, it's like, oh, I need to improve that at my life. But when you told about your situation, do you need to talk in English or it's not necessary? Like all the pharmacists of the hospital need to talk in English, or you just try to talk in English because the patients just talk in English? Can you understand the question?
Yes, I understood. It's necessary because we need to read some text in English. So during and I don't know article. Yes, I think the word is article. A lot of new articles are in English. So we need to know at the least the basic in English, and have some situations that we need to talk with the foreign patient. But it's you don't need to talk very good
Yeah.
or English. You don't be advanced in English. But I think it's very important because we don't know, but have some situations and we need to use our English.
Yeah. So for me, it's like because I want to talk in English, but at the beginning was because it's my chart. So at my work, it's really important to talk in English, but I'm not able to talk in English. So I'm very frustrated about that. It's like, no, I need to talk in English because my work requests me. Yeah. So, but that's it. I think the frustration happen. It's it's not possible to avoid, but we can be resilient. Yeah, and I think that's the word for that here for me.
Do you work in
And
the airport?
yeah, I work in the tower control. You know, I need to
Oh,
talk with the pilots in the sky. So sometimes happen kind of situations that I need to talk in English. We have a standard phraseology to use, like a padronizada,
yes.
but sometimes it's not possible to follow that that kind of English. So I need to talk in English like native English. Yeah, native
Had
English.
and the hostel had have a pharmacist, and she worked in the Guarulhos. And she speak English very well because she needed to talk in English with
Yeah, yeah. The
the
English it's a reality. Yeah,
yes.
we need to talk, but I hope that I hope your feedback about, oh, well, I was today in the hospital, for example, I talk in English with a patient was so good. And I think you are completely able to talk in English. Yeah. So Lucas, the time it's finished. And thank you for the conversation. Thank you for staying here at the finish. Okay. And have a nice day. Okay. I see you maybe in the next year. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.